Hey guys, we're back again with the M340. Today we're going to do a custom oil catch can DIY for those people who want to maybe save some money and not spend $400, $500, $600 on an oil catch can setup. So let's get this thing started. So this is what you're going to need to make the oil catch can setup, the custom oil catch can setup. You're going to need the radium quick connect that goes on the valve cover. You're going to need the oil filler cap. I got this one from Burger Motorsport. And of course you need the oil catch cans. Both of these are from Amazon. I do have a lot of things that came from Amazon, but they did have good reviews. I made sure about that before I bought it. Also, this fitting right here is a 6 to 10 and that's gonna go to this, which goes to the crankcase, and this is from SY Performance. These right here are also from Amazon, and these go to the oil catch can. And I have some bulk holes and some caps, and these are the bolts I just got from the hardware store. I did have to make a bracket, custom bracket, to bolt it up to the car. And also I bought 20 feet of this hose. I know it's probably too much, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough. And also this kit came with tons and tons of fittings, so all types of fittings. So let's go ahead and install this. We're going to be removing this hose that goes from the valve cover to the intake. Pretty much down here is a little clip. It just pop out. I just removed it. And up here also, this one's already broken, so I kind of zip tied it on there, but I'll be removing that. Alright, so on this hose, we're gonna have to heat this up and separate this hose. Next, we're gonna be removing the intake. This is an aftermarket intake because I do have the Remnant Performance Turbo kit. So if you have a stock intake, it'll look a little bit different than this. You'll have like a clip that you have to pull out. So on this kit, I have a 10mm. Just have to loosen up. Just a little wiggle. So we got the intake off. Now we're gonna have to get to this small crankcase hose you see right there, and I think that's a T30. We got to remove it completely. So I already loosened the bolt. Just gonna turn it. There it goes. It's out. This is the hose. This is the bolt. And now what we're gonna put in there is fitting from SY Performance. So you got to make sure to lube up the seal, that way it doesn't break when you're installing it. So the fitting is in. Now what we're gonna have to do is put this adapter that is a 6 to a 10 in order to put the 10 hose on there. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Let's just turn this in. So after you get the fitting in, well, let's go ahead and put the oil catch can setup together. So pretty much, I mean, I'm putting 2 catch cans, one for the low side and the high side. I mean, you don't have to do this. You can actually just put 1 if you want. I'm putting 2. So what I did to mount it, I just grabbed some scrap metal I had at the shop and just bent it. So this is the way it looks once mounted together. So what I did is grabbed a straight piece of metal here, and I joined both of these together with 3 bolts. I had to drill holes here, here, and here. So we're going to be mounting it here on the strut tower, and I mean pretty much there was a hole here with nothing in it, just like this one, and I tapped it, and the bolt that I'm using is a 10 by 125, so I tapped that, and we're going to be mounting it on there. Also, in order for me to put 2 oil catch cans, I had to cut one of these off. This is for the stock mounting for the stock airbox. There was one here that's kind of stuck out, like maybe about 1.5 inches. I cut it off directly in order to put 2. If you just put 1 catch can, you should be able to get away without cutting it if you don't want to cut it. But since I'm putting 2, I had to cut it. It wouldn't fit. So this is how it looks once installed. Pretty much you still have space down here, about 1 inch, 1.5 inches of space, and it's pretty sturdy. I use a pretty thick metal, so I think it looks pretty cool. And now we're gonna start making the hoses and routing them and measuring the lengths. So on the crankcase, we're going to be using this 90-degree fitting, and it's going to go this way. That way we can route the hose this way, so it won't get in the way of the intake. So this is the way it's supposed to be pointed. Got to point it to the right. On my setup, the intake, if I point it any other direction, the intake hits it. So if I point it to the right, I can get away with it not hitting. This is a kit that I got from Amazon. As you can see, it comes with a lot of fittings routed in different degrees. You got 90 degrees, 45, straight. It was a pretty good deal as well, and steel braided lines. So on the crankcase fitting, we're gonna route one of these straight fittings. Once you got that pushed in, pretty much you just tighten this up. Tighten this up all the way. This is the way it should look once you have it in. You just keep turning this and clockwise until it tightens all the way down. And one way to keep this from scratching as well, you can put tape over the surface, put a wrench, and you turn it that way you don't scratch it up. Let's go ahead and install it, pre-fit it, and see how much hose we're gonna need to the old catch can. So we're gonna tighten it down all the way. So I went ahead and installed the 10 orb to 10 amp fittings on the oil catch can, and on my setup, everyone's gonna have a different setup. So depending on the kind of intake you got, or if you're doing just one or you're doing 2 of these, you're gonna set it up differently. But on mine, I'm gonna put a 90-degree coming from the crankcase and stretch it out as much as you can and measure it. So pretty much right here. Also, when you cut these, because these are steel braided lines, you want to use like electrical tape where you're gonna cut, and you pretty much cut right down the middle. So you guys have to use a angle grinder. That's what I use to cut these down, and same procedure as the other one. You just slide this in there, slide it in there as far as it can go. That's it. And just turn this. So now we're going to be installing the radium valve cover fitting. Same procedure with these O-rings. Let's put like a little bit of lube on here, a little bit of oil. Pretty much this just pushes in into the valve cover. And it's got, you got to be careful because you got some really small tiny bolts. This goes over that, and this is where you got to be careful because you can lose these bolts. So it's pretty tricky. Push that up. Now maybe you want to turn it to where you can get to both of these bolts. And they already have Loctite on there. There is one of these radium fittings that have already like a 90-degree angle on there. I should have got that one, but since I got that whole kit with all the different angles, I got this straight one. So next we installed the Burger Motorsports oil filler cap, and it already comes with a swivel 10 orb 10 90-degree fitting, and pretty straightforward. You just remove the cap and install that one. So from here we're gonna run a straight fitting from here to here. So let's fabricate it and see how it looks. So I did change it up a little bit and went a different route. I end up routing the hose that goes from the crankcase to this catch can, from here to the valve cover, the oil filler cap, from here to this catch can, and now from here that's gonna go to the air intake right here. So this one here is not going to be used anymore, so we're going to have to cap that one off. So let's go ahead and do that. So all I did was just put a cap on that end since we're not going to use it, and you can get that at any automotive parts store. So we're going to have to remove this pipe that goes to the valve cover, and this attaches to the intake. So the way you do that is you heat it up, because we have to run one of the hoses to here. So let's go ahead and do that. Supply a small amount of heat, distribute it evenly. I mean, you could cut it off if you want. It's for people who maybe later on want to put the car back in stock and they can reuse this. Let's see what comes out. There we go. Alright. So from the catch can from here we'll have to route a hose to here. So let's go ahead and take some measurements. So we're gonna get some pretty much, this is like a 4-ply straight hose, and this is a bulk hose that I had from the shop, but you can get this anywhere in the auto parts. You're gonna need maybe about 2 inches of it, and also you're gonna need, this is a 5/8 connector, 5/8 on both sides. So we're just gonna put this in here, and we're gonna install it into the hose. I already went ahead and installed the air intake. Now we gotta install this back on the intake, and it just has a clip. Push that in here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. Make sure you put this hose that goes from the intake manifold to this. Push it in. There it goes. So this is the finished product. On this one hose, I ended up putting a straight fitting on here and routing it down to the air intake with a 5/8 hose. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did one more time. From the oil filler cap to the top here, from here down to the crankcase, from here to the valve cover. And I am going to change this one because I don't like the way this looks. So I am going to go with the radium fitting that already has a 90-degree angle on it already. So I will be changing that one, but for now I'm going to stick to that. So from this catch can, from the bottom to the air intake with a 5/8 hose. And that pretty much wraps it up. And this is for somebody that wants to put, dual catch cans. Now, if you want to do a single catch can setup, the routing may vary, but if you get that kit that has different options of angled fittings, you should be able to figure it out. And this is the final look. I think it looks pretty cool. And the filters, they match my air filter on the intake. And next step is to start it up and check for any air leaks or check engine lights. Cold start for you. Everything seems fine, it's running good. No check engine lights. So this pretty much wraps up the job. I hope this video can help some people out that want to maybe save some money. Just stay tuned. I still got some more videos and some more DIYs that I want to get done soon. Thank you for watching.